Welcome back to the Hot Lap, and McLaren causing some controversy. No, not in Formula 1, not in their lovely, lucrative automotive division, but in IndyCar. They're looking more like Alpine and Red Bull at the moment, getting rid of drivers, swapping drivers, etc. Yeah, Theo Pourchaire's gone, despite being told he's there for 2024, the entirety of the season, minus the Indy 500. We'll see you on the other side of this. So Theo Pourchaire is gone because McLaren have announced that they've signed Sigel, I'm not too sure how to pronounce his name, a multi-year deal with Arrow McLaren, and Pourchaire is out, as in out now as we speak. So the 19-year-old would take the reins of the team's number 6 Chevy, starting with this weekend's round at Laguna Seca. So McLaren announced the signing of Nolan Sigel to a multi-year deal, which will begin at this weekend's IndyCar. Now, the 19-year-old California native, Sigel, is a fresh of taking the LMP2 class victory in the 24 Hours of Le Mans with United Autosport. That is the team owned by a certain Zach Brown. Now, Siegel's going to take over the number 6 McLaren Chevrolet from someone who is a reigning Formula 2 champion, Theo Pourchaire. And it was only last month that he was announced as the team's driver to run the rest of the 2024 season, with the exception of the Indy 500. And the 20-year-old Frenchman was originally brought in to substitute another driver, David Malukas, who has since been released and joined Meyershank Racing, thank goodness, after he was recovering from a pre-season injury that required surgery. And McLaren were like, yeah, see you later. So Gavin Ward, the team principal of Arrow McLaren, has said stability and sustained growth are key to our long-term game plan here, and this is a significant step in that mission. Stability, yes. Playing juggling with drivers, very sister. I mean, I get the sustained growth, and I kind of get where he's coming from. He signed a long-term deal for this driver. And he said, first, I want to thank Theo, for his time filling in the number 6 car with us in recent weeks. Legend has it, Theo may well, I think he's going to return the knife that's currently lodged in his back. But moving on, we've been working through musical chairs all season. Yes, you have. And ultimately, making this change to Nolan now that he's available gives us a chance to build a foundation for the future. He is young, a talented driver with an immense amount of experience at this stage of his career, and we're excited to continue the upward journey together. What's interesting is, and the link's in the description below, the race, one of my favourite websites, has had a take on this, and I'm going to read it out to you. It's by Jack from the race, and I think it's quite interesting. It's a lot. I think it's how a lot of IndyCar fans feel right now. So it starts off with what we already know, that McLaren has dropped Formula 2's champion Theo Pourchaire from its IndyCar lineup, and this is just days before this weekend's Laguna race. Ridiculous. And he's going to be replaced by Nolan, it goes on to say. And it continues an incredible saga with this car, which began all the way back with Alex Palou backing out of his deal to leave Ganassi for McLaren, and also included his replacement, David Malukas, being dropped while still recovering from a wrist injury and having never actually raced for Arrow McLaren. I mean, this guy was injured. It's like working, it's like being sick and then being sacked. Our IndyCar correspondent, Jack Benyon, gives his take on the latest shock McLaren decision. And he says, you have to respect the 2013 Indianapolis 500 winner, McLaren IndyCar team sporting director, Tony Kanaan, who said, you've got to trust me of this, he said of his call to put Nolan in the car, at the expense of a Formula 2 champion, Theo Pourchaire. I'll put my job on the line. And he's absolutely nothing about Siegel's career says he should be in that seat over Pourchaire. And that's the interesting take. It said that's not to mean that this new guy, he's a lovely person in my experience and showed his mental toughness throughout the Indy 500 weekend. But his resume right now isn't in the same zip code as Pourchaire's. It is important to consider that he hasn't always focused on championships and has sometimes prioritised mixed schedules in different series. But Pourchaire is the reigning Formula 2 champion who has impressed massively since coming to IndyCar. And he says, Formula 2 champion Theo Pourchaire, Formula 2 champion George Russell, GP2 champion, it is Formula 2 in all but name, Lewis Hamilton, GP2 champion Nico Rosberg. I mean, you know, the list goes on. So team principal Gavin Ward said McLaren was looking to set ourselves up for a long-term competitiveness. Pourchaire is just 15 months older than Sigel. Sigel, I'm so sorry if I got that name wrong. And I just can't understand this, the article says, given that Sigel hasn't even been in McLaren's car yet, and he has somehow done enough to prove to the team that he's a better long-term option. Ward very cleverly sidestepped a question about Siegel's bought sponsorship or budget by not ruling that out. Yes. Instead, it's saying he had earned his way. Yes, but I guess he may well have earned his way. I mean, did he earn his way by being really, really good? Fair play to him if he is. Or did he earn his way in the same way Lance Stroll earned his way into an Aston Martin seat? And so remains. But anyway, he earned his way, so perhaps that tells part of the story. Ward didn't just answer the question with no. I guess he was telling the truth, but what truth did he mean? Earn, as in the moolah, or earn as in talent. Anyway, however you interpret this, it says, it's a spectacular dismissal of a driver who has won arguably the most prestigious championship a young driver can win, and has been in and around Formula 1 teams since he was 16. To be replaced with a driver who finished third, Theo Pourchaire champion, third Indy Next last year, but he did win the LMP2 class at the Le Mans 24 Hours. Give him that, brilliant, which came after McLaren made its decision. Sigel was brilliant at Thurman on his IndyCar debut with Dale Coyne Racing, 20th at Long Beach, 23rd at Road America, and didn't qualify for the Indy 500. Road America for Junkers Hollinger, and didn't qualify for the Indy 500. And there he crashed in practice, which had his team on the back foot. Perhaps the car was so bad it was inevitable he would crash, but he still crashed it and played a part in being bumped. I hope Sigel proves Canaan was right all along, but judging by the facts, it's all really tough to understand this, and horrible for Pourchaire, who started Laguna Seca race week expecting to race. I think he even tweeted or did an Instagram post, didn't he? So a lot of eyes will be on Sigel because of how this has been done. He's mentally capable of handling that. But the question mark is whether he can become a quick and well-rounded driver than the F2 champion. One of the biggest blows from not landing Pano was that McLaren would have to race against him every week. I'd certainly be happy in making the statement that if any McLaren's rivals get their hands on Pourchaire, he immediately makes any of them in a stronger position. So not only had it better be right about this new guy's credentials, it had better hope Pourchaire heads to another continent and doesn't team up with an IndyCar rival. How embarrassing is that? And IndyCar drivers have even come out and they've taken a few shots of this as well. I'm probably going to share a bit of the screen with you. Let me just zoom in there for a second. I mean, let's there you are. So axing David Maluka and Theo Pourchaire, the latter sign dropped within the space of a month. Scott McLaughlin has called for a moment of silence for the trees sacrificed for McLaren's contracts. Aaron McLaren shocked the paddock on Tuesday. Yeah, we know that. They've been savaged by rival IndyCar drivers. That brought an end to Pourchaire's 5-race stint. McLaren's IndyCar rivals weren't holding back in their comments on Twitter. Scott McLaughlin, let's take a moment of silence for all the trees sacrificed for McLaren's contracts. Connor Daly who's raced 100 times in IndyCar in a career spanning 11 years, then responded, no one is safe. Yep. Oh dear. I mean, even Chip Ganassi Racing chips in with a sorry, we're still a bit jet lagged from Le Mans. Did we miss anything? It's just absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand. Hopefully this is a decision which we will very much come to realise why they made it come the end of the season. Maybe there's something in the background that we do not know about. Who knows? But anyway, I feel really sorry for Theo Pourchaire. Fair play to the new guy. Yeah. Oh well. If you like what you saw, or you like what you listen to, etc., give us a subscribe for more motorsport news. We do cover the odd IndyCar, Formula One, touring car, and rally, and we do a bit of gaming content as well. Thank you very much. Theo, we'll speak to you soon.